Another beautiful day, beautiful morning. It's 7:15 a.m. It's probably 60 degrees out. The sun is high in the sky, though it's moving. And it's probably gonna be about 85 today. So really hot day for a Seattle day in May. Very, very hot. I'm at the track. I'm gonna go run. There's no one here, which, like I said, is usually the case because running is difficult. It's not easy. My ankle hurts a little bit, so on a day like today, though, if you don't get out early, you wouldn't want to run after about 10 or 11 in the morning because it's just going to be too hot. Right now, the air is a little cooler, and so I could run for about an hour and not get hot. Key is just to stay hydrated. If you start running when it's so hot out, you pretty much you just can't consume enough water because you're sweating so much, and that sun is making it so hard to relieve and move. But right now it's perfect. It's a little wind, feels nice. I'm just happy to be able to do this, right? I think we take a lot of things for granted in everyone's life, right? Like just being healthy, being able to move, being able to exercise, not being in the system, not being in like a hospital or dependent on other people. I have a vehicle, I have a motorcycle, I can kind of come and go as I please. And to me, that's certainly a measure of being rich or being wealthy. Because a lot of people, they can't do that maybe. Or they're, where they're at, maybe not safe, or they have health issues or whatever, right? So again, it's just a perspective thing of you allow yourself to be thinking that what you have is never enough, and it's just like a never-ending prophecy, right? Because in your head, no matter how far you get, you're always going to be thinking that, oh, I don't have enough, or that person has more than me, and so now I'm jealous of that, or I just want to keep leveling up. When really, I think the ultimate goal, I think, for most people is just being able to spend your time how you want. Regardless of how much money you have, look at that bird. Regardless of how much money you have, it's just being able to spend your time how you want. And so people work really hard because they have maybe expensive hobbies, or they have all these places they want to travel maybe, and doing those things cost a lot of money. So if you're able to kind of break free from that curse, you can really have a high quality of life and a low cost of living. I find pleasure in just being able to move and exercise, and I have a pretty low overhead, really. It's like I'm not spending a bunch of money on vacations and things like that, where as soon as you're done, you have to kind of refill the tank again, right? Oh, I want to go to Mexico, I want to go to Europe, I want to go here, there, Australia. I want to do all these experiential things. That's going to cost. It's just, you're just trading your time for money, right? So if you only get satisfaction out of doing things that cost money, then you're going to be making that trade a long time, and you're going to be just kind of always up against the wall, never really satisfied, because everything's so expensive. So unless you make a ton of money, you're going to have to kind of pick and choose the things that you want to do. And that's kind of the difference between like America and a lot of other cultures, I guess, is that people in other countries, I think, aren't so like dead focused on their job or how much money they have and the type of car they drive or whatever. It's not materialistic. The cultures elsewhere, or maybe they are, but not as much, right? I personally don't care. I don't really care what car I drive or I certainly don't care what clothes I wear. I mean, I think I'd prefer to be like comfortable, but the type of brand it is, or how much it cost, or what store I bought it from, that's not even on my radar. I don't care. I just want it to be comfortable. Like I'll put I could be wearing something. I've never worn something that's like really expensive, but I could put it on and hate it because it's not comfortable. But I can wear $7 pants from Costco or a $10 shirt from Costco or Walmart and be very comfortable, right? Because I don't care about that. Some people, it's just, you can tell almost immediately. If you're out in public, you see people that it's like, obviously they care about the type of brands they're wearing. They're carrying around, some sort of jewelry bag or fancy bag, and they're all kind of decked out in this unique looking clothing. So they value that. And that goes to, I always just thought that the people that do that are like compensating for maybe their lack of personality or their lack of self-confidence. I don't know. I just never really cared. I think you'd almost draw more attention because you're dressed uniquely, right? People are going to be looking at you because you're wearing stuff that just doesn't really fit in, right? It looks more unique, and I think some people like that, right? Because they want to be unique, or they want to have people look at them or ask them about their clothes or whatever. But I can probably count on my hand, and I can't remember any off the top of my head, but I'm almost 30, and I'm trying to think of like the last time someone said they really liked some sort of clothing I was wearing or something. It's pretty rare. Most people just don't really care unless you look like, if they've seen you every day and you wear like the same stuff, and then all of a sudden there's a day where you wear something different, then they might say something because they're like, oh, that looks different, or oh, I like your shoes or whatever. But strangers, right? Just people, I'm trying to remember one time where someone said something to me about my clothing. And again, I don't really wear like distinct clothing, but it's not, no one cares really. It goes back to my other point I was making. So you just try to kind of blend in and dress anonymously, because you don't want to draw attention to yourself, or at least I don't. But you see that with, I think it's more probably common with women. They'll get makeup. The whole makeup industry is built off of modifying yourself in a way that makes you look different or unique or more attractive maybe to some people. I would argue that a lot of that stuff is actually like anti-productive. If you get fake nails and fake eyelashes and you put a bunch of makeup on and your skin doesn't look natural anymore, and you have hair extensions or whatever. I don't know anything about, I know very, very little about female beauty products or anything like that. But when you see it, it's just, you're like, oh geez, that just doesn't look natural, right? You have all these modifications on the way you look. You see, I'd say 90% of people that you just come across, male or female, look somewhat normal. Like they don't look like they're modified or have a bunch of, piercings and tattoos and nose ring, and their hair is a different color, and their hair is obviously like modified. They're wearing, they have extensions, or it's cut in a certain way. And again, the eyelashes, the makeup, that like their face looks like a completely different hue than their arms and legs maybe. And the nails and everything. It's like, whoa, you got a lot going on there. And some people do like that. I'm not, I personally probably lean more towards not liking it, but I know there are people that maybe do. But I think there has to be some amount of insecurity to be doing that. It's one thing if you just put on a minimal amount of makeup and whatever, it doesn't really change your whole appearance. But when you're basically like modifying your whole appearance, I just think I think there's a deeper insecurity of not feeling comfortable in your normal body, or thinking that you're inadequate. It has to be, right? Because no one would, I always think about it like, why do men not wear makeup? If it really was something that made us more attractive, I don't see a lot of men wearing makeup. I'm sure I could make myself cosmetically more appealing, or physically more appealing maybe, if I was able to do some of these things, but I just don't care. Like, I know that really wouldn't be me, and I'd be putting on like a mask. I'd be putting on a different appearance in an attempt to, attract someone. And it's also has to be stressful, because as soon as let's say that you do, someone likes you with this fake appearance you've put on. What happens when you don't have that appearance? Like, you've built up a relationship off of, kind of being like decked out in makeup and attachments and adjustments to your real appearance. What are they going to think when all that goes away? So I would almost say that I'd say the women that are modifying themselves to such a high degree, there has to be a level of insecurity there. Maybe I'm wrong on some of them, but some of them maybe just really like makeup and just kind of messing around with cosmetic products and stuff, which, again, whatever, that's fine. But I would say a high degree of them are either insecure about something, or don't feel comfortable with their normal appearance when they're just at their house, that they need to do these things in order to get attention or attract someone. And I don't even know how. I think I watched a video just about must have been some podcast. That's why I'm even talking about this. They just had a bunch of girls on there that were, they just didn't look normal. They just looked they had so much, makeup, and they didn't look like a normal person. Like, if you just go out in public, you don't really see a lot of people that look like they've spent an hour to 90 minutes kind of changing their whole appearance, right? So, and again, I'm not saying that you can't do that. I'm just saying, I think probably the biggest thing is that it's an insecurity. So let me know what you think. I don't know. Again, just a random topic while I'm getting ready to run here. I'm going to go run 20 laps around here. So hopefully I don't get injured, and it's not going to be too hot. So as always, have a good day, and take care of yourself.